75 points, the Nasdaq up 80. Shares of Ralph Lauren up 12.5%. That's after the upscale clothing and home furnishing company named the head of the Gap's Old Navy division to be its new CEO. Shares of the Gap, though, down 5.5%. Good news today about jobs. Payroll firm ADP says private companies hired 200,000 new workers in September, getting a boost from strong consumer spending and a healthy housing market. After 3 years, M&T Bank has finally gotten the Fed's okay to buy Hudson City Bank Corp. Twitter is said to be considering going from 140 characters to 150. Meantime, Recode reporting that Jack Dorsey, who's been Twitter's acting chief executive and founder, will be named permanent CEO as early as tomorrow. Tom Busby, CNBC.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
If you feel like online dating just won't work for you, try EH+. EH Plus is a new personal matchmaking service by eHarmony, and it far exceeds what regular online dating sites can do. One-on-one attention from a PhD matchmaker, amazing singles, and guaranteed introductions we know are perfect for you. Visit us today at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-940-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
And good afternoon. It's 12:03. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live local news here on Kcaa 1050 AM. Yesterday, City Attorney Mike Feuer announced criminal charges against a South LA gun dealer and civilian security officer accused of improperly taking part in the sale of more than one firearm within a 30-day period. Civilians who are not sworn members of law enforcement are prohibited from buying more than one firearm within a month. One of those weapons, prosecutors say, was used in a Riverside County slaying. Feuer alleges West LA College security officer Amelia Suarez, a civilian employed by the LA County Sheriff's Department, illegally sought an exemption meant for sworn police officers that allowed her to purchase two 9mm pistols. Suarez purchased the guns October 14th, 2014. Both guns were delivered to her 2 weeks later, and in early 2015, Suarez sold one to a friend who used the gun in a homicide in Riverside County earlier this year, prosecutors allege. And a mountain lion climbed up a 35-foot high wooden power pole yesterday afternoon, about 2 miles south of Cougar Buttes in Lucerne Valley on East End Road. The California Department of Fish and Game officers who were parked several hundred yards away were requesting passerbys not to stop. They hope the animal, which appeared to be a healthy adult, might climb back down from the high voltage wires and go back into the wild. Apparently, the big cat was spooked and scurried up to safety on the pole. The mountain lion may choose to wait until the sun goes down, of course, to make its escape. No word if he's still there. Sure, he's down by now. Anyway, it was a very cool sighting. You can go on Facebook and find that. It's really a nice, cool picture. Looking at high desert weather, not a cool picture, a very hot picture. Highs near 94 today, overnight lows 64. Currently, we're at 89 degrees here in San Bernardino. Checking out your drive, there's an accident blocking 3 lanes on the eastbound 10 just before Yucaipa Boulevard. That's in Yucaipa. And in Mariloma, the off-ramp is blocked on the 15 northbound right at the 60. So you can't really transition there at this point in time. There is an overturned vehicle that has the connector blocked. That is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, Kcaa 1050 AM.
Larry Burnett here, inviting you to join me for Open Season, Fridays at 6 p.m. right here on Kcaa. It's 3 guys dropping gloves, tackling issues, and swinging for the fences. Great sports talk right here on Kcaa AM 1050.
Determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people. Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. We appreciate you calling in and listening because this is a show all about you. We have the honor of watching you win. We give you the information, and you go about going out there and making yourself great. And we get to stand back and smile and watch you do it. So you call, and you'll be part of the program today. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Daniel is in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Pretty good, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My wife, she's always been a saver, and I'm just now, after 11 years of marriage and 2 kids, trying to do it myself. I'm about halfway through your total money makeover, and we've run into a bit of a sticky spot. I'm a pastor, and we bought a home in the city in which we lived, and then the Lord called us elsewhere, and we weren't expecting it, and when that happened, now we're renting up here and have the place down there. We've had it up for sale for about a year, but the amount that we owe on the house and the amount that we have, if we were to sell it, is almost the same to break even, if not lose money. And I'm wondering, should we just sell it and take out a loan and cover the difference, or what?
What is your house? Where is the house?
It's in Knoxville.
Why has it not sold?
I wish I knew. We've worked at it, but I think.
Well, is it ugly? Is it dirty? Is it overpriced? Does the yard need to be cut? Is the neighborhood bad? If you're the buyer, you look at it for a second and tell me why it hasn't sold.
Well, I would say it's the price. It's the biggest house in the area. When we bought it, our realtor told us if we ever go to sell, it would be an issue. Our house is about 200 or 300 square feet bigger than anything else around.
Yep. And how much do you owe on it?
We owe right around $100.
And what would it really sell for if you put it on the market for real?
Probably right around $100 if we're lucky.
So what do you got on the market for now?
Right now it's about $110, I think.
Okay, so if you drop it to $99.9 and you have to write a check, how big is the check you have to write?
It'd be $100. Well, no, it'd be, I guess, because you have 6%.
You have your sales cost, so it's probably going to be $5,000 or $6,000, right?
Right.
At a minimum. And what's your household income?
Between my wife and I, both of our income, we make somewhere close to 40, 45 in that area.
Okay. And this house payment's $1,000?
Pretty close. It's 800 and change. Yeah.
So you've written a check for $12,000 for it to sit there overpriced for a year.
Yep.
So if we write a check for $6,000 to keep it from sitting there for the next 6 months, we broke even?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to write a check for $20 to get rid of it, but I probably would go as high as $6.
Okay.
And if you can borrow the $6 and get rid of the thing, I'd probably go that high. Short of that, I'm probably going to rent it and sit on it for a year or two and let the market value come up a little and then try to sell it without a loss.
Okay.
But if you can, if you can get it on the market for $99.9 and it gets moved that way, and you write a check for $6,000 or so, that's fine. But I wouldn't go much more than $6,000. Talk to your realtor and ask them what that price is, and if that price will move it. If it doesn't move it before Thanksgiving, then I'm putting it on the market for rent, and I'm going to keep it for a year or two and let the value come up.
Okay.
You see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. At $40,000, you can't afford to absorb a hit in the face much more than $6,000.
Yeah.
You can't afford a $60,000 hit in the face. You follow me?
Right.
So $6,000 though is acceptable. Plus, when I look at that as a break even on your payment, that's about 6 months. That's about as far as I want to go in the hole on this. Past that, I'll rent it and hold on to it and let it come up in value. Do you kind of see how I did the calculation?
Yes, I do.
Cool. Pastor, thank you for calling, and we appreciate you joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Christine is in New Hampshire. Hi, Christine. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I have a question. My husband and I are putting together a will. We have a 18-month-old daughter, and we've been working on putting a trust together for her with our lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talked about two different plans, I guess, or ways of doing the trust.
Mm-hmm.
And one would be where the trustee would have to go to the probate court and account for the money that's been taken out throughout the year in caring for her. Mm-hmm. And then the other would be to not have to do that.
I would not do that.
Okay.
And the reason is some probate judges are idiots. And they would ask the trustee to put all the investments in CDs because they're afraid they're going to lose a penny instead of the money being invested in good mutual funds. When I had the same, seriously, they're morons. And so, and they actually, they've got this idea that nobody's allowed to run their own life without the government telling them how, and they get really way too involved in other people's business. And so, all in the name of making sure your trustee's not a crook. But if you don't have a trustee that's not a crook, they don't need to be your trustee.
Okay, yeah, no. I mean, it would be either my mom or our second backup is a very close friend.
And they've shown some common sense with money and some integrity?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Absolutely. And then my other question with that, too, is there's a section in there, I guess, that we were reviewing it, that talks about how the trustee can put any of our assets or whatever up for collateral or mortgage or whatever. We requested that be taken out.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, no.
Yeah, okay. No. Just double-checking to make sure that we have everything right. Okay.
The basic things that were in ours for our kids when they were minors, our kids are not minors anymore, so that's all alleviated out of our will today.
Right.
But it was, the money is to be invested in the 4 types of mutual funds that we talk about with track record of 10 years or more. And so they're going to invest it the way I teach and the way I personally do it. I give direct instructions to the trustee to do it exactly that way, according to the trust. So I was being a control freak about what it's invested in. And then once it's invested, the money is pulled out for one of only a few things. And that is monthly care and feeding of the kids, and a certain amount you can have coming off your investments for that. In other words, support the child, whoever's raising the child, whoever's the guardian, which may and probably should be different than the trustee.
Yeah, that's how we have it.
Yeah, and so the money's coming to feed them and raise them. The second thing is a reasonable car at 16.
Oh, that's
or a portion of it. The third thing is medical expenses if they're major.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth thing was college.
Right.
And then we dictated that after college that they would get some money at graduation and some more money at 25 and some more money at 30. And by 30, it was all theirs.
Right. Okay.
That's how
we've done
we
it
did
that way as well, but okay.
You can do whatever you want to do, but that's how we had ours. So those are the type things you need to address, is what can the money be used for, what can't it be used for, and then you have a real stern, firm, kind, clear, blunt talk with the trustee and make sure there's an emotional understanding that this money is not theirs.
Right.
They are simply a steward of it for the good of the children.
Yeah.
And if they don't get that, if their eyes start crossing, get a different trustee.
Okay.
Because some people get confused about that stuff and think, oh, look at that. I get to, oh, no. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
If you like jazz, you'll enjoy getting together with me. I'm Tommy Hawkins, a Jazz Hawk. Tune into my show, Just Jazz, Saturday nights from 10 to midnight on KCAA 1050 AM.
The San Bernardino Rotary Foundation wants you to be a part of this city's renaissance. That's why they hope you'll attend the San Bernardino Summit. On Tuesday, October 6th at the historic Fox Theater on Court Street, community leaders like Dr. John Husing will speak on bringing San Bernardino from bankruptcy back to all-American greatness. Attend the San Bernardino Summit Tuesday morning, October 6th at the Fox Theater. Proceeds benefit the Literacy and Rotary Life Scholarship programs.
I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks, and I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today.
This is KCAA.
We found the problem with your car.
Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
What?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
Stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any 2 items just for $5.85. Or you can get any 1 item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese Food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right!
Fight against all cancers in your community at the Believe Walk, presented by Stater Brothers Charities and Inland Women Fighting Cancer, Sunday, October 4th in Redlands. Text CARE to 80077 and a $10 donation will go directly to the Believe Walk to further the fight against cancer in your community. Donation terms, mgive.org/T. For more information, go to BelieveIE.com.
We know you're there. We can hear you talking on AM 1050 KCAA.
We're so glad you are here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Well, let me tell you, if you're scared about retirement, if you feel insecure about it, you don't know if you know what you're supposed to do, whether you're 25 or you're 55. You think it might be too late. You think it might be too early. You've never thought about it enough. Have you really sat down and thought what your retirement dreams are going to be? Do you really know what your dreams are? What does it really look like to retire? Well, I'll tell you, if you want to know, Chris Hogan, our Ramsey personality that is America's voice for retirement, he knows how you feel. He's raising 3 boys. He knows exactly how you feel. And he's met with thousands of people, kneecap to kneecap, doing financial coaching all these years. And he knows how they feel. And he has written a book that will take you from where you are to where you can retire inspired. It can really happen. Anyone can retire inspired. But you have to take the steps and you have to sacrifice. And you can do it. Chris Hogan's the guy to lead you there. The book is coming out in January the 11th. We put it on pre-sale this week, and it has broken all records of all of our pre-sales. It's thousands of these things have sold already. It's bizarre. Thank you, guys. We appreciate your response. And here's the deal. Why would you buy a book that's coming out in January the 11th? Why would you buy that at the beginning of October? Because I'm going to bribe you to. Yeah, it's a $20 book, and you buy it for $20. I'm going to give you $70 worth of stuff because it helps Chris. It helps our marketing plans with the pre-sales. And so we appreciate you, and we're going to prove it. You get $70 worth of free bonus items when you buy the book now. You want to retire inspired, just give us $20. We're going to give you the hardback book will be shipped to you on January the 11th. The Retire Inspired ebook will be emailed to you that day, and the digital audio book will be emailed to you. And guess what? He is reading that. If you've heard Chris speak, he's got those pipes, man. I mean, it's like, yeah, Barry White, right? I mean, serious. So, man, I mean, it'd be a beautiful audio book. Now, and in the meantime, as soon as you buy the book now, we give you these pre-sale items, an all-new video from Chris called Investing Basics, the Guide to Retirement Budgeting, How to Do Budgeting in Retirement ebook, and even the ebook version of my latest book, The Legacy Journey, another national bestseller. So it's an insane amount of stuff that you get for free when you pre-order. Now, you can pre-order from DaveRamsey.com, from RetireInspired.com, from ChrisHogan360.com, from Amazon.com, or BarnesandNoble.com. Anywhere that books are sold that you want to pre-order the book, if you will come then to our website, or if you're already on our website, it's easy to do. You just click on there and show us proof of purchase. If you came from, like say you bought it on Amazon, you jump on our site. If you buy it on our site, it automatically does it. We're going to ship you 3 of those items now, and then the other 3 items... the other 2 items in January, and then the book will come from wherever you bought it from in January. So it doesn't matter where you buy it, but you pre-purchase it from somebody, and we're going to give you $70 worth of stuff. The Retire Inspired book pre-sale has begun. Go to DaveRamsey.com, RetireInspired.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com. Yeah, it's going to work, guys. It's pretty incredible. And you get $70 worth of stuff. Very cool. Up next is John in Miami. Hey, John, how are you?
Doing great, Dave. Thanks so much for taking my call. Appreciate it.
Certainly. What's up?
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I have a coaching question for you. I have a brother of mine down here in Miami, and he just got back from a church retreat, and not the first time he's been out on a church retreat. He's a small business owner, and every time he comes back from these types of retreats, he doesn't always get very energetic and robust with his business. He tends to think that everything is in God's control. I respect that. I believe that. I'm a man of faith as well. But I think he might be taking that a step too far, because as he comes back from these retreats where they have good fellowship, good ministry, and he re-energizes his faith in the Lord, he always comes back and doesn't always go busted at work and get real energetic. So from a coaching perspective, from a brother perspective, I'd love to just hear some of your thoughts on, whenever you've got some of your sales guys in your team and they come back from a vacation or from a ministry-based trip, how you coach them to just come back to work and just get after it. Can you kind of elaborate a little more on that?
Well, I mean, the fact that you're there's several different reasons you might let your foot off the gas, but letting your foot off the gas and calling that God would be a tremendous mistake. And so the way I would talk to someone on my team or my brother, were he doing that, assuming they're going to receive my input, if I'm in a position to give input, then the way I'm going to talk to them is that the way you do your work, the level of excellence you do your work with, is your witness. And so if you're going to half-butt do your business, that's a bad witness. It's a horrible witness, as a matter of fact. And I always just tell people, buddy, if you're going to put a fish on the back of it, drive it right. And so if you're going to be a NASCAR racer and you can't run around telling everybody you love Jesus, you need to win the race. And if you're going to run a business, you need to, you're going to score, a football player, you need to score a touchdown. Or you need to get some sacks or whatever it is. We need to notice you. Your excellence screams things about your faith. And so the contrary, it ought to be the opposite of this. When you come back all God-inspired, it ought to cause you to go bananas because you're doing your work, the Bible says, as unto the Lord. You're doing your work as if Jesus were standing there and he's your boss, because guess what? He's standing there and he's your boss. And you're doing your work for him. And you think he wanted you to slack off and call that Jesus? I don't think so. Now, if he was only motivated or ambitious out of desperation or out of fear or out of greed, and those negative character traits or positions are being stripped away by his spiritual walk, that's a wonderful thing, but I would like him to replace that with motivation to serve in the marketplace as unto the Lord. And so I don't accept anything around here except wide freaking open. I mean, we don't do it because, we mess up, we make mistakes, we drop the ball around here. But, buddy, it's never because we are backing off and going, well, Christians just don't believe in working hard. What? 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 So that's the way I go at it, is kind of with that approach. And sometimes that shocks people because I both know as people of faith, and I'm in Nashville and everybody's a Christian in Nashville. There's more Baptists than people in Nashville, right? So and I just hear these people say, "Oh, I'm praying about it," which around some neighborhoods, some people I know, all that means is they're not willing to work. And now I do believe in prayer. And I certainly believe in prayer. And I do believe there's a time that you don't do anything but pray. But sometimes that's code in evangelical Christianity for I don't want to work much. Go ahead.
His comments back to me are, it's control. Hey, John, what you're really trying to accomplish in your business, John, as he is saying to me, is just let it go. It's not in your control. Whereas I'm trying, because we're in similar businesses, I'm trying to bust it. I'm trying to work real hard, wake up early.
Yeah, the Bible says that you reap what you sow. And if you said that to a farmer because he was out there knocking the weeds out of his crop early in the morning, and he was out there covering the strawberries before the frost comes in, you're just trying to get control. Let God. And we're like, what you are is a moron at that point. That's not Christian. That's not control. That's just stupid. Really. I mean, that's ridiculous. No, if your spirit, you could be doing the same exact activity and be doing it out of a negative spirit of control and thinking you're God. And if that's the case, then you got a spiritual problem. But not doing smart things or not working hard because you're afraid that you're supposed to plant the corn if you want corn to grow. That's not control. That's sowing and reaping. I could control nothing happening. That's by planting nothing every time. And, be scratching your head and going, wonder why God didn't grow corn. It's because you didn't plant it. It's just, there's two parts to this. It's God's blessings and your hard work.
This is KCAA.
California headline news. A new lawsuit claims PG&E and the company it hires to maintain trees near its power lines were negligent as it relates to the start of the Butte fire that destroyed several hundred homes.
If you have a properly constructed, maintained, and inspected line,
you will never have a situation where a tree is in a position to fall upon it.
Attorney Greg Singleton filing suit on behalf of two people who lost homes in the fire that burned in Calaveras and Amador counties. Police are calling it a tragic occurrence, an argument between an artist working on a mural in Oakland and another person, leading to that artist being shot to death.
It's unfortunate that a young man that was out here doing something to try to change the community has had this tragic result.
The victim, identified as 27-year-old Antonio Ramos, no one has been arrested. Several students hurt after a bus makes a hard stop in Lakeside. 10 students from Rios Canyon Elementary in El Cajon were hospitalized. Officials say a car cut off the bus and the bus driver had to swerve and stop suddenly. Geico weather, possibility of rain in the northern region. Jeff Scott, California News.
Hey-ho, Bigfoot here. You know, mythical creature from the woods. Today I saw something I couldn't believe existed. The new Honda Pioneer 1000. Whoa, man, it's a beast with a best-in-class 999cc engine and the industry's only 6-speed, fully automatic dual-clutch transmission. This thing's real, it's big, and it's here. Check it out at pioneer1000.honda.com.
Pioneers are for drivers 16 years and older. For your safety, read the owner's manual. Wear a helmet and eye protection. Always wear your seatbelt and keep the side nets and doors closed.
Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
KCAA invites you to join Dr. Donald Gabriel Jolly for What's It All About. He's never without words.
I have an opinion about everything.
He talks about everything.
You can say, I love you, and be fired by the power of the crotch instead of the real meaning of love. You have an illness. It is called terminal acute hornitis.
Join Dr. Jolly for What's It All About? 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon on KCAA 1050 AM.
We found the problem with your car.
And
Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
what?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
Stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
The San Bernardino Rotary Foundation wants you to be a part of this city's renaissance. That's why they hope you'll attend the San Bernardino Summit. On Tuesday, October 6th at the historic Fox Theater on Court Street, community leaders like Dr. John Husing will speak on bringing San Bernardino from bankruptcy back to all-American greatness. Attend the San Bernardino Summit Tuesday morning, October 6th at the Fox Theater. Proceeds benefit the Literacy and Rotary Life Scholarship programs.
U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is loaded with 15 acres of used, salvaged, and rebuilt parts for your car or truck. Sure, you could go to any wrecking yard, but U&I has what it takes. Expertise, high-quality products, and the finest customer service you'll receive anywhere. U&I makes custom drive shafts, furnishes full warranties on all their parts, and keeps up on industry changes. Call 909-888-6841. You'll be impressed by the fast and friendly response from the U&I skilled staff. You can also go to the Contact Us page and request a part. U&I hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 3. U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com, or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841.
KCAA invites you to support our very own Relationships 2.0 host, Michelle Skeen, in raising funds for the Ronald McDonald House Charities in the 38th Annual Chicago Marathon, October 11th. Every year, RMHC and its local chapters give more than 7 million children the strength to persevere as they run their own marathons, fighting illness and injury throughout months, sometimes years. Michelle will be running in the marathon, and if you would like to join her in becoming a Team RMHC runner, please go to the RMHC homepage or simply Google RMHC, Ronald McDonald House Charities. You can also help by contributing in fundraising efforts or by becoming part of the year-round sponsorship of Ronald McDonald House Charities. For more information about RMHC, visit rmhc.org. And remember to give your support to KCAA's Relationships 2.0 host, Michelle Skeen, as she runs the 38th Annual Chicago Marathon in support of Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Thanks for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Kelly's with us in Billings, Montana. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I am just at a point where life didn't just smack me in the face. It straight up came up and cold clocked me.
Oh, that hurts. I'm sorry.
But, you know, it was the wake-up call my husband and I needed, and, you know, I just ordered the home study SPU and finally got my husband on board with budgeting and everything. It's kind of a good thing. However, we're in a situation where I'm a medical courier, and we bought my car so I could continue doing my job, but the payments are $450 a month. So I just don't know if I should try and throw any extra money at this car, get it paid off ASAP. Should I try and sell it and try and get something a little older that's owned?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
Yeah. So how much do you owe on the car?
About $19,500.
Okay. And what's your household income?
Together, net, we're bringing home about $6,000 a month between the two of us because I've been working 80-hour work weeks, picking up extra hours where I can.
Net. So you're making like $80,000 a year total?
Roughly, yes.
Okay. All right. And what is the other car worth?
The other car may be worth $6,000, but we owe $17,000 on it.
Holy!
It was a bad deal. Bad deal.
So you owe $16,000 and $17,000 on cars. What other debt do you have?
Various little medical bills and about $2,500 to the IRS.
Total, how much? Not counting the cars.
I'd say about $40,000 to $45,000.
More
altogether.
Oh, including the cars.
Oh, including the cars, yes.
Okay. So, and you make $80,000. All right. So here, there's a couple of rules of thumb I use on a car. Okay. I like my car. I'd like to keep it. Am I smart to do so? If that's the question, I measure that two ways. One is you should never own vehicles. That's the total of everything you have with an engine in it, even if it's all paid for. More than about half your annual income, because everything with an engine in it goes down in value. And if you've got more than half your annual income tied up in that, something that's going the wrong way, then you've got a lot tied up in stuff going the wrong way. That's a rule of thumb. You're not there. You're below that. The second rule of thumb I use is, can you be debt-free but your house? If everybody's on board and you're focused and you're going to go crazy and you're going to do this and you're going to do scorched earth on your lifestyle and so forth, can you be debt-free, cars and everything, but the house in 2 years? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
Can you pay off $20,000?
We don't own a house.
Can you pay off $20,000 a year, making $80,000? The answer is yes.
Okay.
And so you could keep the car if that's the thing. The thing that bothers me, though, that's a third part, that's not normally a third part, when you drive your vehicle for a living, you are putting an inordinate amount of miles on it. And so when you drive your vehicle for a living, whatever you're driving, you are destroying its value. How many miles a year are you putting on a car?
Just the last 3 months alone, about 25,000 miles.
Okay, and so that translates to 100,000 miles a year. And
yeah, it hurts.
Yeah. So you know what 100,000 miles does to the value of a car? It destroys it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's pretend you were rich and had $500,000 in the bank and no debt. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You still wouldn't drive any more car than is necessary to do this job because this job destroys cars.
Right.
And so you want to drive the minimum vehicle that'll get the job done because you're destroying it. Now, what's get the job done? Get the job done is two things. One is you spend all day in a stinking car, and so it has to have a reasonable comfort level. Two is it has to be reliable.
Right.
And that's the two things it has to be in order for you to be able to put 100,000 miles on it in a year. And you're probably going to buy a car every year if you keep that up.
Yeah.
Because you're destroying it.
I have been looking for other jobs, and I have a prospect, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah,
so.
but I mean, if that changes the equation, if the job changes. But you see my point. If this is something you're going to project and do for many years, you've got to say, all right, part of the overhead of this job is I'm destroying whatever I'm driving, and I want to destroy a $10,000 car, not a $30,000 car. And so because of that, if you're going to stay in this job, I would sell this car and move down to about a $10,000 car.
Okay.
But not because of the debt, just because I'd rather destroy a $10,000 car than I would a $20,000 car.
Right. I should have never gotten into this car in the first place. I was uneasy going into it, and I'm still uneasy.
Yeah, well, that uneasy is God talking to you.
Yeah, and I should have listened.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad used to say, when the bell rings, you need to answer the bell. When that little bell down inside of you is ringing, yeah, you answer the bell. And it means don't. When in doubt, don't is what it means. So, yeah, you know, this probably for all of those reasons is a sale of this car, even though it does meet the guidelines of keeping a car that I usually use.
Okay.
But for the other reasons, I would probably, if I were in your shoes, I would sell it and move down. Because the last thing you need is an extra $10,000 just going out the window. Because whatever you drive, you're destroying its value if you keep doing this job. Catherine's with us in Lincoln, Nebraska. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Good.
Good. How can I help?
We're trying to decide if we should pay off all our debt or save for down payment since we had an increased influx of cash.
You should pay off all your debt.
Okay.
You want to know why? You want to know why?
Why?
Not because Dave Ramsey said so. That's not a good reason. You need to know why.
Okay.
You need to know why you're doing stuff, okay? It's good.
Yes.
So the reason is that when you don't have any payments and you have a good emergency fund plus your down payment, I mean, think about this. No payments, $10,000 in the bank after you close on the house. Can you breathe that in for a second? You think about how it feels to move into that house versus moving into a house today with no money and debt payments everywhere. You feel the difference in the stress?
Yeah.
And so what happens is when broke people buy houses, it makes you broker. And so you clean up the debt and you build the emergency fund in place because then the house will be a blessing rather than a curse. Because I've seen it. Let me ask you this. How old are you guys?
I'm 26.
And how long you been married?
8. 5 years.
You ever been broke during that time, like when you first started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
College.
You remember when you're broke that like everything that can go wrong goes wrong?
Yeah.
And the broker you are, the more your life looks like a country song financially?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I'm describing. And so when you move into a house, while that feels like a smart thing to do, and it is a smart thing to do, when you move into a house with student loans and you know, car payments and boat payments and Sea-Doo payments and MasterCard and American, all this other crap floating around your head, and you move in the house with no money, the roof will leak, the water heater will go out, and the heat and air will go out in the first 2 months you're there.
Okay.
You're asking for it, you know? When you move in broke, you have to get an extra spare bedroom for stupid to move into, and stupid always brings his cousins, broke, desperate, and stupid with him. And so you gotta, you know, you have to think that way. It's not a popular piece of advice, and a lot of your friends are just like, well, buy a house. Just buy a house, dude. Just buy a house. But they're freaking scared to death, and they're freaking out, and they have no control of their money, and the house is not a blessing to them. I want your marriage to be better after you buy the house, not more strained. You see what I'm doing?
Yep.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money.
Wondering what to do on your Friday drive home? Well, the bar's open and it's happy hour. Join us right here on KCAA 1050 AM on Friday at 3 for Trevor's Happy Hour with Lyle Fenimore. The gang's all going to be there, so dial it in. KCAA 1050 AM Fridays at 3 p.m. right after the Poor Man for Trevor's Happy Hour with Lyle Fenimore.
Pour me a tall one.
Brought to you by buysellmakeoffer.com.
Hey man, what are you doing?
I'm watering my lawn.
Don't you know you can't water your lawn in the middle of the afternoon? Uh-oh, you're in big trouble. Here comes the water police.
Well, what do I do now?
Tune into the Water Zone show on KCAA Radio Thursday nights at 6 p.m. They'll help you out.
This is KCAA.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that dropping out of high school was my decision. But as a single mom, that decision affected more than just me. To set an example, I had to be the example. I found a free high school diploma program at Learn for Life that fits around my busy life. I have a team of teachers, tutors, and counselors that really care. I learn at my pace in an environment that is safe and comfortable. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any 2 items just for $5.85. Or you can get any 1 item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right!
The San Bernardino Rotary Foundation wants you to be a part of this city's renaissance. That's why they hope you'll attend the San Bernardino Summit. On Tuesday, October 6th at the historic Fox Theater on Court Street, community leaders like Dr. John Husing will speak on bringing San Bernardino from bankruptcy back to all-American greatness. Attend the San Bernardino Summit Tuesday morning, October 6th at the Fox Theater. Proceeds benefit the Literacy and Rotary Life Scholarship programs.
With more local radio every day, with KCAA 1050 AM, Loma Linda.
Raj is following me on Twitter at Dave Ramsey. You can jump in and follow us there. There's all kinds of fun stuff going on at Twitter. We give you advice there and inspiration there. We stir up trouble there. Yeah, I do. I really do. I love it. I love Twitter. Not really, but I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, I enjoy the conversation with some of you. Raj is on Twitter. He says, do you have a recommended amount to contribute to college funds? I have 2 kids, ages 16 and 13. No. What you have to do, because each situation is so unique. If you had a 6 and a 3, it'd be different. If you had an 18-year-old, it'd be different. You've got to first sit down and figure out where you are projecting them to go to school. And you need to look at the cost of that school. The tuition, books, dorm food. And you say, okay, that's our budget. We need, $15,000 a year. We need $10,000 a year. We need $50,000 a year, whatever it is. And then you look at the number of years you've got to save to get to that point. And in the case of the 16-year-old, you're not really going to earn much growth or interest on your mutual fund during that time because you've only got a couple of years before you're going to need the money. So most of the money you need for that 16-year-old is going to be straight there. It's a straight division thing. And you go, oh, my goodness, we're behind. And the 13-year-old, you're going to get a little bit of interest benefit, but not a ton. But if it was a 3-year-old, most of it will be interest in the account. Most of it will be growth on the mutual fund that's in the account. And so you've got to look at where you want to send them to school, what you think it's going to cost at the time, logically, that they're going to go to school. So what's your target amount, how long we got to get there, and then that tells you how much you got to save. But it's not a set, a certain percentage or something like that. There's not a thing, because it would be completely light years different for a 16 or 17-year-old than it is for a 6 or 7-year-old. That's why. Gerda is with us in Phoenix. Hi, Gerda. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Okay, I am coming into a property worth about $100,000, and I have somebody that wants to lease it from me, and he wants to put like a business on it. My question is, I'm 76 years old, and I think I want to get some interest on that money, and I also want to include like a $500 payback on a monthly basis towards that $100,000 because eventually he's going to buy this property. Am I supposed to set up an LLC, or can I just do a plain lease agreement?
You can just do a plain lease agreement because that's all That's all he's asking for.
Okay, and then
do you have substantial assets other than this?
I have my house.
And what is it worth?
About $350.
What's your nest egg other than your home?
About $150.
Okay. No, I would just keep it as an individual property. I wouldn't put it in an LLC. It's too much trouble. But then you just lease it to him, and really, what you've got is just a ground lease, and then he's going to build on it, right?
Well, there is some stalls in it already, and he has some people that already are leasing some of these stalls, like, the granite people and like
okay, so there's actually a building on it.
Right, there is a building, like a big garage.
Okay, and so he's going to lease the property from you, and then he's going to sublease it out.
Right.
Okay. You need to have a good solid lease that he needs to you need to see an attorney, because he needs to indemnify you and carry insurance to keep any of those tenants of his from suing you as the landowner if something happens on their stall. Okay? I don't want one of them coming after you. I might put it in an LLC because of what he's doing with it. I just want the liability off of you. But in terms of what the property's worth in lease payments, I probably would have an outside realtor look at it for you, someone that does some commercial brokerage in the area, and say, okay, what is the market value to lease this? What should I be able to get for it? And and then if he wants an option to purchase it, that's in addition to the lease.
Right.
But if let's just use an example. I'll just use round numbers. Let's say it's $2,000 a month is what the market value is to rent it. Well, that's just the rental amount. That's the lease amount. And then if he wants to purchase it, then he would have to have an additional amount of money going towards the purchase if he wants some to go towards the purchase. Or if he wants an option to purchase, you can give him an option to purchase for free, but you don't have to. That's up to you to negotiate with him. The second thing I would do is I would be very careful that this lease doesn't have long terms to it, because I don't, who are your heirs, your kids or what?
No, I lost my daughter, so it would be my brother and my sister in Germany, and my friend's daughter is going to be the executor.
Okay, but I wouldn't want my brother and sister in Germany to have to put up with a lease in Phoenix, Arizona for the next 10 years if something happened to you next year.
No.
So it needs to be a short term. It needs to be a 1-year lease at a time.
Okay, all right.
And that way your family is not trapped into this deal. I don't mind you being in the deal because you don't mind being in the deal. But I don't want your heirs trapped into it on a long-term basis. And really, I would encourage as soon as possible for him to close on this and buy it from you. That would be the best thing for him and you. As quickly as he can get a loan from the bank and write you a check, I'd rather you have the money. The money's got a lot more flexibility than this particular property in this scenario. Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate you being a listener in Phoenix. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Anna is with us in Albany, New York. Hi, Anna. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm wicked nervous to talk to you.
Oh, that's okay. I haven't killed anybody yet. How can I help?
My husband and I are on baby step 2. We do cleaning for a living. We clean houses and offices. And I've been cleaning for about 8 years, and I've never advertised. I've always just gotten work from word of mouth.
Good.
But now that we have goals, financial goals, we have more openings that we can fill and I want to fill. And how do I go about getting more work, like marketing, cleaning? I just never, like I said, I've always just, people tell their neighbors and friends and they call me, but now I want to proactively get more work. Like, do you have any suggestions about marketing?
Yeah, I wouldn't, if I were in your shoes, I would not spend money to advertise this service.
Really?
Instead, I would use Sweat to find the service, and the Sweat sounds like this. The best thing you can do is think back through the people that referred you and how that conversation went. And that was kind of accidental. Now let's go to try to create that conversation on purpose. And that's going to your current clients and going, hey, I'm wanting to expand and pick up some more stuff. It's not going to affect you at all. I got you covered. But do you have anybody you can recommend me to?
Okay.
And can you give me a letter of recommendation that I can show them? And I'm not going to affect your service. Whatever times I'm covering you, I'm going to cover exactly like. I'm not changing that. I just need to pick up more work for some slots I have open and talk to those clients. The friends that referred you, these clients, think back, who's your most valuable client and what friend did they come through? Call all of them and tell them the same thing, and just spread the word. Then the other thing I would do is if you've got a client that's really responsive to that, I might say, hey, if you'll get me a client, every time you get me a client, I'll give you a free 2 days of cleaning or whatever it is.
Yeah, okay.
And compensate them, or at least buy the mistake dinner for a referral, right? And that's a friend or a client, either one. Be sure you drop them a gift card to the local nice restaurant. They can take their spouse out to dinner and go, yeah, I remember Anna next time that comes up because, man, I got to eat over here. It was good. And that kind of stuff. And then past that, I'm going to make sure you got business cards, and any free time you've got, I'm going to hit every property management and every residential real estate agent and every commercial real estate agency in town, and I'm going to start handing out cards going, who you got, who you got, who you got, who you got, who's moving in, who's a new client coming to town. And you watch coming soon signs popping into commercial building windows, and you stop by and see who's going to be doing their cleaning. And that's cold calling. It's not nearly as effective as the first way. The first way is the best way. But I'd do both if you have to. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Eastern
Easter Seals provides life-changing services to kids and adults with disabilities in the Inland Empire. This month, when you visit a Baker's drive-thru restaurant, be sure to buy a Safe Halloween coupon booklet for $1. 100% of the dollar you spend goes to support Easter Seals disability services, preschool and daycare for kids, independent living, work and social skills for adults. Your dollar can make a difference. Learn more at easterseals.com/Southern Cal.
Hello, everyone. This is Nina MD, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Listen to my show every Wednesday night, 6 p.m., KCAA 1050, where I'm going to give you the latest, greatest on anti-aging.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com.
CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are sharply higher following a rally in the global markets. The Nasdaq Biotech Index rebounding after plunging 13.5% over the past 5